everything without offending. So now my mouth is in the jailhouse with cases pending. First Amendment, you replaced it, rigged it, dumbed it down. It's not an option. Some of it I understand. Took power from me.
SMT Nation, let me tell you a little bit about our partner, Mint Mobile. You guys know the Fox. You've seen the commercials. You know what they're about. They're about great value, giving you excellent customer care, and helping you save money. I know a lot of people are really going to enjoy these savings and take advantage of these great offers. Make sure to use our partner link and really reap the benefits of this service. SMT Nation, we're testing today. Let's test the networks. We've got a good one for you here. We're going to be testing from just outside the Browns practice facility in Berea. And we're going to be testing all three networks. And the reason why I didn't want to test Dish in this particular case is because it would be roaming on AT&T. So it wasn't really a point. This buggy piece of crap. iOS, iPhone, it's a problem. Just throwing it out there. I don't know if you guys have issues with certain apps, but Ookla, YouTube, you name it. iOS runs like crap. All right, so let's try this again. What we're going to do first, I think, is we're going to test AT&T. Second, we'll do T-Mobile, and then we'll do Verizon. And we're going to do them all LTE and 5G. So we'll test all sides of the network. All right, so AT&T's got a site that's real close by. It's like less than a quarter mile away, facing the facility. 433 down, 39 up on the 5G plus N77, 80 megahertz of bandwidth on the C-band. Looks pretty good, good throughput. Let's see if we could check out the detailed results to see if we got any packet loss. And yeah, I don't know why this app just does not function right. All right, 0%, no packet loss. That's good. So good speeds, good throughput during a time where there's a lot of people at the practice facility as the summer camps are going on and stuff like that here in the late morning. Let's go ahead and test it again. Give it a second go so we can make sure we get consistent results here. And this is real. All right, 423 down and 32 on the up. Ping time's good at 41. We do have a little bit of jitter, not too bad, but it's there, it's present. Loaded ping times are decent. 200-300 is very typical. Look to see if there's any packet loss, and I don't see any, 0%. So pretty good throughput. Nice to be on the 5G plus. If you're still on an LTE phone, you're missing out on some good capacity. So if you're in an area that could be congested on LTE, it's worth it to see if they got a 5G plus upgrade for you for AT&T. All right, let's go ahead and try this on 5GE, aka LTE. And typically, AT&T's LTE network is pretty good. All right, so we got over 100 megabits down. We got 35 up. Ping at 39. Jitter at 2. Loaded pings between 584 and 162 downlink and uplink, which is pretty good. Let's go ahead and check to see how the packet loss might be. Okay, SAP again, taking forever. No packet loss, good. So it's at 0%. Sometimes if you have packet loss, that can cause some issues in your browsing or in your video playback. So it's worth looking at to see if that might be causing some issues in your network stability. All right, second test, 131 down. We got 42 on the up, 38 ping, 5 jitter, 534 down, 169 up for the loaded ping. So that's pretty good. Again, the LTE experience here, pretty nice in my estimations. I don't really have problems with the LTE or the 5G plus. Both very reliable, both very capacitive, 0% packet loss on the second test. So that's your AT&T for you. Let's go ahead and switch the SIM over. Let's give T-Mobile their turn. What we'll do is we'll test them the same way. We'll do a couple tests on LTE, and then actually we're going to do 4 tests on 5G. We're going to do 2 on standalone 5G, and then we're going to do 2 on NSA. All right, so let's start first with the LTE side. We got 150 megabits down, about 58 megabits up. Ping time really good at 19. Jitters at 2. That's excellent. And then the download and upload latencies 590-ish. 570-ish and then 97-ish. No packet loss. This is good because sometimes some sites for T-Mobile have some packet loss, like my home site, for example. So this is good. Looks like a nice, stable, reliable connection. Let's give it a second test. And it looks basically the same. 147 down, 59 up, 21 ping, 6 jitter, loaded ping times 500-ish and then 90-ish on the upload. So that's good. I don't think we got any packet loss there either, 0%. So that's great. A very welcomed site, because my home site has packet loss and it causes buffering and all types of other stuff. All right, switching over to the 5G side, you'll see in iOS with the iPhone, you can turn SA 5G on or off. I went ahead and turned it off first, so we'll be doing the NSA 5G, which means you get your 5G carrier or channels connecting along with aggregation with LTE. LTE is the core network for this connection. All right, so we got 9.4 megabits down, 16.6 megabits up. This looks like a low-band N71 speed test, 19 ping. I'm not really sure why it didn't connect to the 5G UC. Don't see any packet loss, but the loaded ping times are pretty bad. 6,400 millisecond. That's not good. So let's go ahead and test it again. You know, it could just be a one-off. Let's see what we get the second time around. 24 ping time. Wow. So yeah, it's still on. Looks like N71. So 2.36 megabits down, 13.7 megabits up, 24 ping, 7 jitter. The loaded pings are still really bad. Almost 7,000 on the download latency. Wow. No packet loss though, so that's good. Yeah, so I don't know if it's because we switched eSIM, you know, like the profile, but now it seems to have jumped into 5G UC, which is good. That's going to be the capacitive fast part of the T-Mobile network. So now we're probably connected to N41. Before, I think we were probably only connected to N71. So it wasn't performing that great. But this should be fast. Let's go ahead and see how it does here. Yeah, so 515 down, 40 megabits up, 17 ping, 5 jitter, 287 down, 139 up for the loaded latencies. That's more realistic. That's more, you know, kind of characteristically what we see from the T-Mobile network here. 0% packet loss, which is good. The site is probably on a 1 gig fiber circuit. I don't think it's been upgraded to a 10 gig. Let's go ahead and switch to a 5G standalone connection, and let's see if that makes a difference. Typically, I kind of experienced the standalone 5G networking from T-Mobile a little bit unstable, but it might be different for you. 498 down, 59 up. That's really good. 17 ping, 5 jitter, 360-ish on the downlink latency, 119 on the uplink latency. That's a pretty good test. Let's go ahead and see if we got any packet loss. Hopefully it's 0. Yeah, looking good. All right, so this is a pretty nicely performing cell site. Good sector. I think just at the beginning with T-Mobile performing poorly just because we switched the network settings, maybe that was creating some problems. But just to confirm, we'll do a second test. And it looks like more of the same. 534 down, 62 up, 18 ping, 4 jitter, 275 and 110 on the loaded latencies. That's pretty good stuff. Let's check to see if we got any potential issues with the jitter. Detailed result shows 0%, so that's good. Got a nice stable connection, performing pretty well here. Let's go ahead and test Verizon now. We'll start with the LTE side, and then we'll test the 5G side. All right, so this is an area where Verizon has a lot of small cells. They got macros. AT&T and T-Mobile are just basically macro cell networks around here. They don't really have small cells. When you get closer to downtown, they do. But in the outskirts of Cleveland, it's mostly a macro. So this is actually coming off a macro too. The small cells don't reach. 23 down, 3 up, and 41 ping, 4 jitter. The loaded latency is kind of high, 3700-ish, 1300-ish, downlink and uplink. 0% packet loss, which is good. But there's definitely not a lot of wiggle room there. You guys could see the LTE networks getting taxed because of this ongoing practice. And anything NFL related, you know, Verizon's got a heavy market share. So that might be part of this. 26 down, 5.5 up on the second test. I still see the same kind of problems with the loaded latencies. All right, so that's not great. But no packet loss. So it's usable. It's not really going to be a problem. I'd say an additional load of another 100 or so people could create some issues there. So it's cutting it kind of close. All right, let's slide over to the 5G and test. Let's see, first of all, if we connect to the ultra-wide band. Serving cell's about a mile away, kind of far-ish, only because I know that site is serving the airport. It's also serving these neighborhoods and, you know, that heavy market share. All right, so we got 159 down. We got 3 up, and that's on the 5G ultra wideband connection. It's there in the upper right-hand corner. 42 ping, 7 jitter. Loaded latencies look pretty high, over 1,000. All right, so that's less than ideal, but let's see if we got any packet loss, if we can get through this crappy application. And there you go. Okay, so we do have some packet loss on this test. The only one we saw, actually, 18%. So that connection could create some problems. The packet loss, while it's not the worst I've seen, it potentially could create problems. All right, so that's worth noting. Let's see if maybe possibly it's a one-off. Let's run another test and see if we get packet loss again. See if it's a trend here. All right, now ironically, the 5G UW disconnected. Now we're on DSS, apparently. 137 down, just under 2 megabits up, 41 ping, 4 jitter. The latency is still high for the downlink and the uplink latency, over 1,000. All right, let's check to see if we got any packet loss. And we're at 0%. So that's good. So the packet loss was maybe just momentary. I'm not sure what did it or what caused it, but glad that it's gone on the test. But ironically and unusually, you saw how I lost ultra wideband. I'm wondering if I'm an edge cell possibly. I don't know. I run another test. I'm still on the 148 to 4 up. I'm not sure if the iPhone's having trouble connecting or identifying the connection. It's usable connection. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think because we're possibly a little bit further from the cell site, maybe we're getting less than ideal RF conditions. And that would explain why we're seeing a little bit less throughput. Plus the usage is probably high, right? So it kind of, I think all those factors come into play. No packet loss, which is good. But I just flashed airplane mode. Let's see if we can get the ultra wideband back and see if we can get a test here. But I guess it does happen occasionally where if you're on edge, you might lose it. So it looks like we got it back. That's the C-band, the N77, 155 down, 3 up, 41 ping, 6 jitter, and loaded latencies over 1,000 on the downlink and uplink. No packet loss. So it looks like the packet loss was temporary. The speed's good on the ultra wideband, helping carry the load. Right, lots of people there in the stadium. Tell me what you guys think of all the testing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.